Welcome students. Today we are going to learn about locating places, the very first module. And before I start this topic, I would like to recite a poem for you. Round and round go latitudes, up and down run longitudes. Measure south, measure north, on the equator what's its worth? Round and round, up and down, from the latitudes and longitudes, find out your own town. Now students, all the continents, oceans, countries and cities are marked on a globe. Without any reference point, it is very difficult to locate a place on the globe. So in order to locate a place, we need a certain reference point. Now when we look at the globe, we are able to see only one side, as you can see in this picture. And to see the other side, we have to rotate it. Now, in this picture, you can see the point at the top is called North Pole and the point on the bottom is called South Pole. Okay, so the globe rotates on a pole that passes through it, which is called an axis. Now students, what do you mean by axis? Axis is the imaginary line on which the earth rotates. You can see in this picture. And now students, you can see so many lines on the pictures. So these are called imaginary lines. We have two main imaginary lines that divides the hemisphere. The first is equator and the second is prime meridian. See in this picture, the horizontal line is called equator and the vertical line is called prime meridian. Here you can see the lines parallel to the equator are called latitudes and the lines parallel to the prime meridian are called longitude. Hope students, it's very clear to you. Students will learn about latitudes in brief. Now, you can see the equator. What do you mean by equator? An imaginary line drawn halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole is called equator. Now students, you can see in this picture the part of the earth which lies in the north of the equator is called northern hemisphere and the part of the earth which lies towards the south of the equator is called southern hemisphere. As we all know, the imaginary lines which are parallel to the equator are called latitudes. So togetherly they are known as parallels of latitudes. Now let's come to the properties of latitudes. The length of these parallel lines keeps on decreasing as we move away from the equator towards the pole. All the lines parallel to the equator forms a complete circle except the North Pole and the South Pole, which are the points. These lines are numbered, okay? So the equator, which is marked as 0 degree latitude, is the largest circle that can be drawn. And North Pole is marked as 90 degree and South Pole is marked as 90 degree. Now students, you can see in the upcoming picture, there are total 90 parallels in Northern Hemisphere, 90 parallels in Southern Hemisphere. Togetherly, we have 180 parallels in latitudes, excluding equator. I hope it is very clear to you. And all the parallels are drawn at a distance of 1 degree. Now come to some important parallel of latitudes. The very first is equator itself, which is marked as 0 degree. Next comes Tropic of Cancer, which is in north, is 23.5 degree. Tropic of Capricorn, that is in south, 23.5 degree. Arctic Circle 66.5 degree north and Antarctic Circle 66.5 degree south.